League is full of weird and wonderful battle cars. Not beholden to things like aerodynamics or realistic design principles, there's much more creative liberty in their design. But that doesn't guarantee that what comes out the other side is going to be any good. Naturally then, there's going to be contenders for the worst designs in the game. And as one of the most unused free cars in Rocket League, the Hotshot is certainly one of them. The Hotshot is a Dominus battle car that came with the release of Rocket League, an imposing car with giant wheels to match. It's a very bulky car with a very unique profile. Originally one of the largest cars available, it was a fairly common choice for new players who wanted to feel big on the pitch. It's one of the few battle cars in the game that had its model reworked post-release, but it certainly didn't do the car many favours, particularly in the eyes of the community. It doesn't take much searching to find very colourful descriptors of this car. Hideous, ugly duckling, abomination. Not exactly glowing reviews. And it's generally labelled as a bit of a noob pick for players who don't take the game seriously or don't dive very deep into the community. The big glaring issue with this car is in its design. Obviously, it's certainly an outlier compared to the much more grounded selection available today, but it's not an outlier in a particularly interesting way. The hood of the car is almost as high as the windshield, which makes this car look extremely impractical and strangely balanced, compared to the most normal cars which slope downwards towards the front. The spoiler just makes it look like a giant lawnmower that hasn't really been set up properly, and in general there's simply way too much going on. There's tons of added details that just make the car way too noisy for its own good. The choice of Dominus for its hitbox might surprise some, but it is actually a really good pick for it. Surely this battle car is way too big to be a Dominus, you might ask. Well, the size of the car is actually more of an illusion than reality. The battle car has a height profile comparable to most plank cars, and while longer than most, it's not that long. The added mass on the front of this car and its huge wheels make it look way bigger than it actually is. And funnily enough, it fits the Dominus hitbox really well, in some ways better than the Dominus itself. And while I'm definitely suffering for my craft in these clips, it does play pretty well with this hitbox in all honesty. While certainly making a name for itself as the quintessential ugly car, it's not as much of a meme pick compared to other cars such as the Scarab or the Battle Bus. But why is that? Largely, I think it's because those cars tend to have a much more developed character in certain ways, and commit much more to the wackiness of their design. While the Scarab is certainly out there as a design, at least it's obvious that it was designed to be out there. The Hotshot by a comparison is just ugly, and somehow seems to both be trying way too hard and not trying hard enough at the same time. It's both too weird to be a normal choice, but not weird enough to really be a meme pick, and so it's stuck in a form of limbo where it's neither. And in the end, this makes the Hotshot a very forgettable car, even though basically everyone owns one. This is a new season of Non-Meta, where we cover not only specific cars, but also defunct strategies. Anything you'd like to see? Let me know in the comments below.